Good afternoon, everyone, from Smoky Harrington Park on the campus of Hattiesburg High School in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. It's time for Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. I'm Kelly Sander, along with producer Jeremy Thompson. The Bobcats come in here with an undefeated record of 5-0. The Tigers are 1-1. The weather has been the biggest problem for the Tigers getting their games in, but let's take a look at the starting lineup, first of all, for your Bobcats. Hayden Barrett leads it off and plays left field. He'll be followed by the second baseman, Ty Little. Batting third is the shortstop, Marshall Phillips. The cleanup hitter is also the starting pitcher for Sumrall today, Hayden Norred. Batting fifth, playing third base, is Levi Odom. In the sixth hole is the first baseman, Cross Sibley, his first start at first base this season. Cade Dito playing right field. He bats seventh. Hayes Rayner moves up a spot in the order to eighth. He's playing center. And Ryan Little gets the start behind the plate today for Sumrall. So it's Barrett, Little, Phillips, Norrid, Odom, Sibley, Dito, Rayner, and Little. And they will be facing the starting pitcher for the Hattiesburg Tigers today is Jack Jackson. And he's warming up on the mound right now. The Tigers are in their home white uniforms. They wear those camouflage hats today. And you see the Bobcats in their black tops with gray pinstripe pants. Brett Barham, in his first year as coach of the Tigers, he was a longtime assistant of Joe Hartfield here. And Hartfield, a longtime coach, retired, had some health issues that he wanted to deal with, and felt it was best for both he and the program that he step aside and leave it in the hands of Barham. We wondered where Christy Martin has been, and she's checking in today. She's watching on her iPad out of Folsom, Louisiana. Don't forget our check-in number is 601-310-7077. So here we go, top of the first inning. Game that was scheduled to start at 2 o'clock, and we're underway at 2:05 officially on this Saturday afternoon, and this will be the last regularly scheduled action for Sumrall until the tournament next weekend at Sumrall. Righty versus righty, the matchup here. Barrett steps in and takes a strike. Last night, Barrett either walked or got hit by a pitch, but so important for that leadoff man to reach, and he's such a terrific base runner. It's outside 1-1 at 79 miles an hour, according to the Jugs gun on the scoreboard. The dimensions here, this is one of the biggest ballparks, not only at the high school level, but at any level that you'll see. 445 to dead center. And the flagpole in dead center is actually in the field of play. And it'll be up to Rayner for Sumrall and Matthew Adams for Hattiesburg to patrol those areas. That ball is high. 3-1 now to the Sumrall leadoff hitter, Hayden Barrett, with Ty Little on deck. Sumrall defeating Petal on Thursday, shutting out Seminary last night, and Barrett draws a leadoff walk here to begin the ball game. Barham, the head coach of Hattiesburg, was a Hattiesburg Dixie Youth product. He was actually my bat boy in Binswanger Glass. That had to have been 1985 or 86, somewhere in there. Then played for Larry Ainsworth, who's now an assistant principal at Oak Grove High School, for the Trustmark team when he was 11 and 12. Was raised out in the Lake Serene area. And Brent Barham now the head coach here at Hattiesburg. 1-0 the count to Little, left-handed hitter against Jackson. High and away, 2-0 now to Little. The Tigers think that they may be trying to bunt here, as evidenced by the fact that the third baseman, Landon Scott, is creeping in over there. That pitch is high, 3-0 now. So most certainly, Little will be taking. On the Java Mo's scoreboard, Southern Miss trailing UConn 3-0 in the third inning. Southern Miss defeating UConn last night 6-5 in game one of that three-game series. That pitch is high, ball 4. So consecutive walks to Barrett and Little. This game was scheduled for, I think, a week ago Tuesday. This was supposed to be the season opener for these teams, but it got colded out, rained out, just about everything out. And here's Marshall Phillips now. Saw his grandparents in the stands today, Charles and Nellie. Runners will have to go on a ground ball now. First pitch is high, ball 1. Phillips hitting third in the order. The cleanup hitter, Hayden Norred, on deck, and he is on the mound today for the Bobcats. He would like his teammates to spot him some runs here early on. That pitch is low, 2-0 now to Marshall Phillips. And Brent Barham calls timeout. He wants to talk it over with his pitcher. This trip to the mound brought to you by State Farm Insurance agent Stacy Clark in Prentice. Find out how you can save on your premium dollars by bundling your auto, home, and life insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Stacy Clark, your State Farm Insurance agent in Prentice. Brent Barham trying to settle his pitcher down and telling his defense, look, we can't defense a walk. Nothing that the 8 guys behind the pitcher can do when they get walked, and it's already a 2-0 count to Marshall Phillips. Ty Little got a 4-pitch walk, and Barrett is aboard via the free pass. Top of the first inning, 3 days in a row of baseball for the Rawcats, and this will be it until Thursday now, when I think West Marion and East Central, 2 pretty good baseball programs, are scheduled to provide the opposition for Sumrall in that tournament scheduled next weekend at Larry Knight Field. 2-0 pitch coming. There's a strike. You better be on your horse today if you're in the outfield, because this is an immense outfield. 340 down the lines, and again, 445 to dead center. That pitch is too high. 3-1 now to Phillips. Jermel Ford and Matthew Adams, the 2 standouts on this Hattiesburg team. And you'll hear a lot about both of those guys during this regular season. 3-1 pitch coming to Marshall Phillips, and now Jackson off of the pitching rubber. Jackson checks the runner and comes to the plate. That's strike 2. Phillips looked like he was taking all the way. Miss Anita Sumrall watching softball and baseball today. Boy, you talk about multitasking. The Lady Cats also in action. So we'll see if Andy Davis starts the runners now with 3-2 and no outs. Jackson thinks they might be on the move, and they are not. Ball 4. 3 consecutive walks. Has the bases juiced for the cleanup hitter, Hayden Norred. And Norred can help himself here as the starting pitcher for Sumrall by plating some runs with a hit here himself. Norred, who's committed to Pearl River to go down and play for Coach Michael Avalon. And he'll be on the bump today for the Bobcats. Jackson going from the full windup with the bases loaded. First pitch is high, ball one. Levi Odom on deck. Odom had a homer last night. And he was the winning pitcher the night before. The 1-0 pitch. Fouled into the net right behind home plate. 1-1 the count now. Norrid at the plate and Adams in center field for Hattiesburg were both members of that highly heralded Oak Grove Mojo group that finished so highly in Cooperstown, New York, in that national tournament that they went to when they were 12 years old. In fact, Matthew Adams was the fastest around the bases of everybody there. Breaking ball, strike two. So Norrid behind in the count here, 1-2. Bases full of Bobcats, nobody out. The corners are in for the Tigers. They'll try to get a force out at the plate if possible. The 1-2 pitch, too high. 2-2 now to Norrid. A gentle wind blowing out towards center, but it would take about a hurricane category 5 to blow one out of here to center. 445 to dead center. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Just missed outside. Jackson thought he had him, and the count goes full now at 3-2. So much history at this ballpark. In fact, the New York Yankees actually had some spring training work here in the very early 1960s. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swung on. Here's a drive to center field. It's right at Adams, but it's over his head. This will score 1. It will score 2. Norrid in at second with a stand-up double. That plates 2 runs, and Sumrall, just like that, is up 2-0. So 2 RBIs for Norrid. That advances Phillips to third. They had to hold ever so briefly, thinking that Adams may have had a shot at it. But it was kind of a line shot that got over Adams' head. First pitch to Odom is a bender, but missed high and inside. Among the other historical facts of this ballpark is that the movie Never Look Back, the Satchel Paige story, many of those scenes were shot here at Smoky Harrington Park. It was a movie that starred George C. Scott. And as that pitch goes high, there were several members of William Carey's 1969 national championship team that played extras in that movie, including Big Jim Smith from Grand Bank. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's low. Odom ahead in the count now, 2-0. Louis Gossett Jr. was also in that movie. 3-0 now the count. So this ballpark has a lot of great history. Named after Smoky Harrington, the Harrington family that's been so prominent in Southern Miss record books over the years. Doc Harrington was a trainer there at one time. And the old Smoky's Sporting Goods down on Broadway Drive, that was Smoky Harrington's business. Here's the old 3-0 pitch. Outside and high, ball 4. So Odom is on. The bases are reloaded for Cross Sibley. And now Barham calls timeout. We'll see if he makes a pitching change here. And it looks like he is making a change here in the first inning. Sumrall has scored 2. They've loaded the bases with nobody out. And that'll be it for Jackson. The Tigers making a pitching change. We'll find out what's happening and report to you when we return in a moment. You are watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. Jalen Backman, who started at shortstop for Hattiesburg, he comes in now in relief. So Backman for Jackson here in the top of the first. A lot of baseball here in 3 days for Sumrall, but now they'll get a little needed break. And probably just as well because the weather forecast is not real favorable for Monday and Tuesday anyway. And they will host the tournament next weekend. Andy Davis 5-0 as head coach of the Sumrall Bobcats. So here's Cross Sibley, who threw a 7-inning no-hitter last night. Sibley was not scheduled to go all 7 innings last night, but because he continued to carry that no-hitter into the next inning and into the next inning, there's a strike. Andy Davis let him finish it up, and he was successful in logging the no-hitter last night against Seminary. Sumrall won last night 7-0. The 0-1 pitch, that's upstairs. A ball and a strike. Backman kind of dropping from the side a little bit. Hayden Norrid has a 2-run double. Everything else has been walks. Here's a high pop, shallow left field. The ball is tracked. Here comes the throw to the plate, and it's a good throw to the plate. Nobody moves anywhere. So Sibley flies to left. So here's Dito now with the bases still loaded. Dito had a good game last night in right field. He tracked everything that came his way, and that's where he is again today. And there's a strike. So Backman has been effective in his very brief appearance so far. Shifting Adams now to play Dito to pull a little bit. That's way inside. A ball and a strike to Cade Dito with Hayes Rayner on deck. Rayner, the junior center fielder, and man, is he making the most of his opportunities. And the thing that Rayner also brings to the plate, not only the speed in center field, but he's one of the few left-handed sticks that Sumrall offers. That pitch is high, 2-1 now to Dito. And you've got a right-hander on the hill that drops down from the side a little bit. And as we've talked about, left-handers get a much better look at that baseball from right-handed side armors than the righties do. There's a strike on the corner. 2-2. Top of the first inning, Sumrall has put 2 across. Dito will have to protect now with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Bases full of Bobcats. But only 1 hit in the inning. Hattiesburg looking for a new athletic director. Tony Vance, the head football coach here, who was the AD, has stepped down just to focus on football. Dito stays alive with a tap foul there. Count stays 2-2. So the West Marion Trojans and the East Central Hornets will come to Sumrall next week and will provide the opposition in the first 2 games of the tournament. The 2-2. Outside, 3-2. No place for the runners to go. You've got Phillips at third. The courtesy runner for Norrid at second, and Levi Odom at first. And a payoff 3-2 count pitch coming. That's outside and high. to Dito. So he gets an RBI via the walk. It's 3-0 Sumrall. So here's Rayner. First pitch to him is low, ball 1. Ryan Little on deck. He has the catching duties today. There's a strike. 1-1. The opportunities that Rayner had, he's done a pretty good job of putting the bat on the ball. And that's all you really want to try to get these runners moved around. Inside nearly hit him. And it's 2-1 to Rayner. A Saturday afternoon at Smoky Harrington Park at nearly the intersection of 4th Street and Hutchinson in Hattiesburg. The 2-1 pitch, outside 3-1. Captain Hardy founded the city of Hattiesburg and named it after his second wife. I don't know what was wrong with his first wife, that he didn't want to name a town after her, but nonetheless, I can't rewrite history. 3-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Strike on the corner. 3-2 now to Rayner, so another payoff pitch coming. In fact, the first 3 streets in the city of Hattiesburg were named after Hardy's first 3 children, his daughters, Adeline, Mamie, and Corinne. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Got a piece of it and tapped it foul. So there will be a quiz in history class tomorrow morning. You didn't know that, did you, Germ? Adeline, Mamie, and Corinne, his 3 daughters. The oldest streets in Hattiesburg. Carousel will go here for the Bobcats. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Rayner down on strikes for the second out of the inning. So it's up to Ryan Little. Now the Bobcat runners don't have to worry about being doubled up, so any type of hit, they'll be on the move. And there's a strike. Backman has done a good job in relief of Jackson. And again, the Bobcats have 3 runs on 1 hit. That's inside. Back to the top of the order. Hayden Barrett on deck. This is the 9th man in the inning to come to the plate for Sumrall. That's inside, gets by the catcher. Karam's off the backstop, flips to home. But Liam Munn got in before the tag. He was the courtesy runner for Norred. He makes it a 4-0 game, and the other runners advance. So Odom moves to third, and Dito moves to second. And the count is 2-1 to Ryan Little, the Sumrall catcher today. 2-1 pitch, strike 2. The wind blowing out to dead center, but again, doubt very highly there will be any home runs hit today unless Babe Ruth himself is raised from the dead. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's outside. It would take a Herculean effort under any circumstance to get one out of here. Payoff pitch coming to Ryan Little. Here it comes. Swung on. Chopper towards short. Into left field. There's a base hit. Rounding home, or rounding third, coming home is Dito. He scores. It's a 2-out single and 2 RBIs for Ryan Little. And it's 6-0, Sumrall. And back to the top of the order, and Hayden Barrett. Miss Shirley Haddix is watching from her home today. Well, she won't have to worry about any foul balls hitting her cars today. Of course, her house right there across from Larry Knight Field. And Shirley was my banker for a long, long time, which, with all due respect to Miss Shirley, was not a difficult job. There just wasn't a whole lot of money there to manage. There's a strike to Barrett. Six runs on 2 hits for Sumrall. Harrison running for Little. Little, the catcher, with 2 outs, is able to go back to the dugout and get his gear on. So 0-2 to Hayden Barrett. Checks the runner at first, and here's the pitch. Swung on, there's a shot, but foul down the third base line. Karen and Emily Thompson are watching and getting creative today, because not only did we get the blue and yellow heart, we got a white heart today too. So wow, we're getting 3 different colored hearts. You can get a shout out to your favorite Bobcat. Let us know where you're watching the game from on our YouTube channel at 601-310-7077. The 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball, throw to second base on the steal. Not in time. Harrison is there. So he's in scoring position with 2 away. And meanwhile, back at the ranch, the count is 1-2 to Hayden Barrett, who made a really athletic catch last night on the, or was that against Petal the other night, on the warning track out there. Outside, 2-2. Deuce is wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The Rawlers have put up 6 here in the first. The 2-2 pitch. He got him on strikes. Barrett thought it was a little up, but the strikeout is recorded, and Sumrall goes down. 6 runs on 2 hits. There were 2 errors, and 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the first inning. It's Sumrall 6, Hattiesburg nothing. You're watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. Checking the Java Mo's scoreboard, the Golden Eagles have come back to take a 5-3 lead over UConn. That game in the 4th inning. All of our scores brought to you by our friends at Java Mo's. There's no need to get out of the car for that cup of joe. Just drive through your favorite location of Java Mo's. Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. 2 locations to serve you, 1 in Sumrall, 1 in Bellevue. They're open about the time that sun comes up in the morning, and they're ready to take care of you for breakfast, whatever type of fuel your vehicles need. Dandy Dan's always proud, happy, and eager to support Sumrall Bobcat baseball. So we go to the bottom of the first inning. Jermel Ford, the left fielder, will lead it off. And he'll be followed by Jack Jackson and then Josh Jones. A lot of J's. Norred on the hill for Sumrall. Kicks and delivers. First pitch is high, ball one. The last start Norred had, his first inning was a little bit rocky, but then he settled down and pitched well. He said the fastball was a little bit flat in his first outing. That's off the plate, 2-0. Here's a chopper towards second base. Ford can hustle. Quick throw to first. He beat it out. A left-handed hitter, and that chopper like that. So a base hit. The Tigers have a man aboard, and here's Jackson. So advantageous for left-handed hitters. Man, they're 3 steps closer to first base before they ever get out of the box. And then when you can run fast to start with, man, you have a huge advantage. That pitch is inside. Odeman on the grass at third. All natural grass here at Hattiesburg. If it was anybody else other than Ford, Little would have thrown him out. Runner going, throw to second, not near in time. There's an old adage that you can't steal first, but when Jermel Ford is on first, you might as well say he's at third. Count is 2-0 to Jackson. Showing bunt here. Inside, 3-0 now. Josh Jones, the second baseman, on deck here in the bottom of the first inning. Sumrall leading Hattiesburg 6-0, but the Tigers making noise quickly. Norred peers into Little for the sign. The 3-0. Too high. A 4-pitch walk. Runners on first and second. And here's Jones, the Tigers' second baseman. Norred trying to regroup a little bit here. Checks those runners. And throws a blazing fastball strike. Normally, this would be a bunt situation with runners on first and second with no outs. But you're trail by 6, and you've got your number 3 man in the order up there, which generally your number 3 guy has got some pop in the bat. So the thought process is you might not want to take that power away from him by having him put the bunt down. And it looks like that's how Brent Barham has decided to play this here. The 0-1 pitch. And it hit him. And very quickly, Andy Davis is out of the dugout. Boy, that didn't take him long. And again, a slow start for Norred. The Tigers have the bases loaded with nobody out. The runners were going, so you'd have to think that Jones's bunt look was merely a decoy. Dylan Crowell, the Tiger catcher, is up to bat now. Levi Odom, even with the bag at third, everybody else playing back, they'll give the Tigers the run for the potential double play ground ball. You've got a catcher running. That pitch is high, ball one. The highly talented Matthew Adams is on deck. Hattiesburg batting in the bottom of the first inning. The 1-0. There's a strike. And you'd have to think that Crowell was on the take until he got a strike, and certainly got one there. 1-1, bases loaded, nobody out. Norred would love a strikeout. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's fouled out of play. So 1-2 now. The infield for Sumrall left to right is Odom, Phillips, Little, and Sivley at first base today. The battery, Norred and Ryan Little. The outfield, Barrett, Rayner, and Dito, left to right. Here's the 1-2. Here's a drive to right field. Dito is there to measure it. He makes the catch. Will quickly get the ball in. That'll be a sacrifice fly. And an RBI as Ford tags and scores. But you'd have to think in that situation, Sumrall will be glad to concede the run. So here's Adams now. We told you in that trip to Cooperstown that he made with that Mojo team, there were over 100 teams, and each team put up one runner to run from home to first to second to third back to home. And he was the fastest of over 100 that ran it. He is amazingly fast. Runner going, swung on. Here's a little looper out toward left. That ball is down. One run will score. Adams rounds first. He's on his way to second and easily there. The base pops out of place. A run is in. And Fred Evans is up now. And you've got runners on second and third. That pitch is off the mark. Michael and Mary. Michael, is that Risley or Risley? I think it's Risley, maybe, huh? They're watching from their home in Oak Grove. And Logan Powell checking in today. Good to hear from our old buddy Logan Powell, Sumrall legacy. 1-1 the count now to Fred Evans, the right fielder for the Tigers. It's a 6-2 ball game. They've got runners on second and third with one out. Norred looks into Little. And that's low. 2-1. Hattiesburg has a game coming up with Lumberton, another Lamar County school. That pitch is low. 3-1. Just one out in the inning. And the bullpen for Sumrall working out there. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Now time called at the plate. The 3-1 pitch from Norred. Swung on. Here's a gapper into right center. That ball is down. Adams flying around third base. He will score. It is a 6-4 ball game. Two RBIs for Adams, or for Evans, rather. And here's Kylan McGee, the first baseman. 3 hits for the Tigers in the inning here. Close play at first base, but back in time. Again, a throw to first. Six runs in the top of the first for Sumrall, 4 in the bottom of the fourth for Hattiesburg. This time they pick him off. So Nord, with persistency, picks off Evans, who got just a little bit too big of a lead, and Nord a little bit too good of a move on that play. So bases empty, 2 away. And Kylan McGee still waiting for his first look. The pitch, outside and low, ball 1. Again, you'd have to think that Nord will have to figure out a way to get a little bit better starts than this. That's outside, 2-0. And you'd think with 2-0, he's just going to bring fastballs, not to. And there's a strike, and that's exactly what happened. So 2-1. Outside and in the dirt, 3-1 now to Kylan McGee. He's the 7th hitter to the plate in the inning. Landon Scott, the third baseman, is on deck. Hayden Norrid on the hill. Kicks and brings it. Ball 4. That's his second walk of the inning. He walked Jermel Ford. And now Kylan McGee. Landon Scott, the number 8 man in the order, up to bat. Now Sibley took a little time to get the ball out of his glove and threw it into left field. I think they're going to have to do something with that bag at second base, because it's popping out every time somebody slides into it down there, and that's a really potentially dangerous situation for both teams, obviously. Good way to tear up an ankle or a knee if you slide in there incorrectly, and they're looking at it now. Good to hear from old Logan Powell. Old Logan hasn't come and seen us very often this year. Of course, still a lot of season left to go as they continue to look at that second base bag. And while we do, we can thank our webcast sponsors, ComSouth Communications, when it comes to business and communicating within your business. ComSouth is the only call you need to make. Casey Long's Alpha Insurance Agency, we thank them for their support. Rainforest Car Wash as we head into pollen season. That's the place to go to keep your car looking spotless. And if you're car gets in a wreck or a baseball might hit the windshield or hit the hood, Rec Amended. That's Rec with a W. Recommended Collision Repair. Thank all those businesses for their support. So here's Landon Scott with a runner at second and 2 outs. Outside, ball 1. Norwood is just not sharp here in the first inning. And now off of the pitching rubber. And Norwood balked. So he goes to third base on that play. He moved that front foot back off of the rubber before moving the back foot. So the runner's at third now, and that's just lack of concentration is all it is. Here's the 2-0. That one is lifted out of play to the right side. 2-1 the count now. 2 away, runner at third base. The bullpen has been loosening down there. And we think it might be Jose Morales. Two and one the count now to Landon Scott. Good pitch. Took something off of that one, swung through it, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the first. Sumrall leads Hattiesburg 6-4. The 2-2 pitch. That is a pitch on the outside corner called strike 3, and that's exactly what Norwood and the doctor ordered. So for Hattiesburg in the bottom of the first, 4 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. We've completed 1 inning here at Smoky Harrington Park. It's the Bobcats 4. Check that. The Bobcats 6. The Tigers 4. Back with more in a moment. You're watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. We go to the top of the second inning. Hitters 2, 3, and 4 for Sumrall come to the plate. Ty Little, Marshall Phillips, and Hayden Norwood. Some thick clouds moving in overhead, beginning to look a little overcast. Warm and muggy. Ty Little walked and scored his first time up today. Righty versus lefty here. Going from the stretch. With nobody on base, and we've talked about how that's getting to be more standard operating procedure now. He went around. So 1-1 the count. Special shout out to Real South Hunting for their support of Bobcat Baseball on the Webb. 1-1 to Little. Ryan Little, that's outside. Check that, Ty Little. Ty Little is at the plate. Sumrall looking to go 6-0. That's outside, 3-1. Marshall Phillips on deck. You know, his uncle Forrest was an umpire for a long time in the Hattiesburg Association, and it was just a little over a year ago that he was taken in an automobile accident coming back from officiating a basketball game. That was a real blow to the Hattiesburg athletic community. So it's another walk for Little. And here's Marsh. He walked and wound up scoring. The Tigers have out-hit the Bobcats, but the Bobcats have outscored the Tigers. Kind of a excuse me swing, and it got out of play over the right side. You know, Marshall's so strong, you just think that any minute now he's just going to yank one. Odom and Barrett have the most recent home runs for Sumrall. That gets away from the catcher, and Little easily to second base. And 1-1 to Marshall Phillips. I don't know that his folks get to see Marshall very much because he plays football, and that goes to about Christmas, and then Christmas break comes up, then they get back to school, and then baseball practice starts where they don't get home till late. There's a strike. So when Marshall does get home, it's pretty late at night, just about all year round. One and two the count. Nobody out here in the top of the second inning. Jalen Backman pitching for Hattiesburg. Here's a little looper out toward left field. Adams coming over from center, but he'll give way. Actually, Adams playing left now. And he makes that catch for the first out. So here's Norad, who had a 2-run double his first time up. He hit a laser that actually got over Adams's head in center. Adams was playing center at that time, but now Adams has since shifted over to left. First pitch is inside, ball one. Levi Odom on deck as Sumrall bats in the top of the second inning. Leading 6-4. That's high and away. 2-0. Wind blowing towards center field, and has been pretty consistently. That may have helped Nord's first hit. This one is popped out toward right field in foul territory. The catch is made. And there's two away. So here's Levi Odom. He walked and scored his first at bat. So Odom has been productive at the plate. See Mom Brandy down here to our left. Got the camera out here. Wants to get a picture for a keepsake. Backman peers in to get the sign, and now taking forever. And Odom asks for and is granted time. Spring training games get started this week. And the governor of Mississippi, Tate Reeves, and his staff, they'll reassess all the COVID situations here this next week. As a throwback to second base, and barely got a hand in there. Did Ty Little. So we'll see if COVID restrictions start to loosen a little bit, but it has not seemed to affect baseball crowds too much. Another pickoff to second. And again, safe. Levi Odom batting here for Sumrall in the top of the second inning. Runner on second base, 2 outs. There's a drive. This one is going to go for a long way. That ball rolls nearly all the way to the wall. Odom rounds first. He's on his way to second with a stand-up double. The run scores. He smashed it and made it count. It's another RBI and another run for Sumrall. RBI for Odom on the double. And here's Sibley, who popped out to left his first time up. That was a good-looking hit. I mean, he barreled that one up and smashed it to left center. Outfielders played it well. They ran at the angle like they should and cut it off the way they should. It was just hit very crisply and had double written all over it in about 5 different languages. Swung on. Here's a drive down the line. Will it stay fair? It will not. Foul ball. I don't even think Cross was necessarily too confident that that was going to stay fair because he had the bat with him halfway down the first baseline. There's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Nice breaking ball there by Backman, who started at shortstop for the Tigers, but now has been deployed as the pitcher. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Sibley down on strikes, and so too is Sumrall. But the Bobcats come up with 1 run on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the second in Hattiesburg. It's the Bobcats 7, the Tigers 4. You're watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. Hayden Norrid gets back to work now in the bottom of the second inning, and he certainly hopes that the trend that he established early in the season will continue, in the sense that in his last start, he started slowly and progressively got better, and the same thing today. It was not a great first inning, and hopes that it will get better as the day goes on. Sumrall leads 7-4. Trying to protect the lead and that undefeated record. And the Tigers will send up hitters 9, 1, and 2. Backman, Ford, and Jackson. Don't forget, you can always reach us in the press box on our text line, 601-310-7077. Odom in on the grass at third to try to cut down any potential bunt attempt. And that's ball one. Norwood, he just does not look comfortable on that mound. There are several times that he's released the ball and then looked down at his feet like I wasn't supposed to land there or something's just not right. Just does not look comfortable. 1-0 pitch. There's a strike at the knees. But part of being a pitcher is, making those adjustments to the umpire's strike zone, to a lot of things. He attempted. Oh, they said he didn't attempt. Boy, and Levi Odom, I agree with you. I think he did attempt. But 2-1 the count. Looked like he dropped those hands. 3-1 after that one's low. And the Tigers have already shown how well they run the bases. There's a shot right back up the middle. Almost took the head off of Norwood. So one pitcher puts it right back at the other one. The leadoff man is aboard, and here's Jermel Ford, who is the leadoff man in the order. And Ford singled his first time up. Norwood does have the advantage in that he's already picked off one Tiger runner, so he knows that they know that he has a good move, which will keep them tethered to the bag a little bit closer, you would think. Swing and a foul back to the screen. Hattiesburg batting in the bottom of the second, trailing Sumrall 7-4. Norwood comes set. Runner going. Throw to second base. And he's out. What a throw by Little to ring up Backman for the first out of the inning. So Ford back up there to bat now with the bases empty. And Norwood will go from kind of a modified stretch inside, and 2-1 the count. With Jack Jackson in the on-deck circle. Strike two at the knees. The only pitch that Norwood has been consistently throwing for strikes has been the fastball, but it has not been overpowering to where the Tigers haven't been lacing it. That pitch is inside, 3-2. Big payoff pitch here. Norwood will go from the full windup. Here's the pitch. Swung on, chopper towards second. Little gobbles this up and wastes no time in flipping it to first for the out. And again, knowing how quick the Tigers get down the line, he doesn't have any other choice. So he's out on the ground out, and here's Jack Jackson, who walked and scored in his only other at-bat. So you got 12 for Sumrall, battling 12 for Hattiesburg here. Bases empty, 2 away. Check swing, but he went around. 0-1. So just like Norwood's last outing, very bumpy road in the first, and he just looks much better in the second. And if that tendency continues, that knife will get sharper and sharper as the game goes on. If there was some way that he could be sharp from the get-go, that's ideally what he's looking for. The 1-1 pitch. There's a fastball strike at the knees. Sumrall leads 7-4. Looks in to get the signal. And the pitch. Breaking ball. Nice job by Little to keep it in front of him. Although no runners on base to advance. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. That's outside, 3-2. When Norwood misses those pitches outside and they kind of skip in there a little, it just looks at the last minute he's trying to overthrow just a hair. Now off of the pitching plate. The 3-2 pitch. Oh, and Norwood started off the mound like he struck him out, but the umpire called it low. So a second straight walk for Jackson, and here's Josh Jones now. He got hit by a pitch his first time up. I'm telling you, umpires don't take too kindly to that when a pitcher thinks it was a strike and the umpire doesn't. And pitchers, 99 times out of 100, they're not doing it to show up the umpire. They genuinely thought it was a strike and think that the umpire is going to call it a strike. But it doesn't make the umpire look very good, intentional or not. 1-0 the count. Again, the throw to first. Should Jones reach, then Crowell, Dylan Crowell, the catcher for Hattiesburg, would come to bat. Sumrall leading 7-4. Tigers batting in the bottom of the second. Runner on first, 2 away. See that ball bounced in there again? Little's got to get to the dugout. Rounding second on his way to third. Little's throw to third. Good job by Levi Odom to kind of stab at it to keep it in front of him. Barrett was where he should have been in backup mode should that ball have gotten by Odom. At the speed again of Hattiesburg, a passed ball gets him 2 bases. And it's a 2-0 count to Josh Jones. Low, 3-0. So it looked like, compared to the first inning, that Norwood was going to cruise, swinging on 3-0, and then swung through it on 3-1. Overthrew it again, ball 4. So the second time he's been on, the first time he got plunked, the second time there he's walked, and Andy Davis, I think, is going to make a change. That's it for Norwood on the mound. We'll see if he stays in defensively. We'll reset the table and report back to you in a moment. You're watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. Jose Morales is on the hill for Sumrall, making an appearance today in relief of Hayden Norred. This pitching change brought to you by your State Farm Insurance agent in Prentice, Stacy Clark. Find out how you can save your insurance dollars by bundling your auto, home, and life insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Morales was warming in the bullpen earlier and now is implemented here to try to get this third out of the inning, which has been elusive. The Tigers have got runners at the corners with 2 outs, no runs in, but going right into the meat of the order with Dylan Crowell, the catcher, and then Matthew Adams. So we'll see what Morales has for Crowell. Morales has a terrific 12-6 bender, which is his go-to pitch. And second base taken by Jones without an attempt. So now a base hit would score 2. And Morales will try to focus here on home plate. A timeout is called. You know, we saw, I think it was last night, that one of the seminary players had asked for timeout and was not granted timeout. Or maybe it was the night before. Kind of the games run together after a while. First pitch from Morales is outside. Stone has defeated East Central 4-3 in high school baseball today. Upstairs 2-0 now. East Central will be one of the opponents next weekend for Sumrall as part of that tournament. Morales' 2-0 pitch. Lifted out of play to the right side, 2-1. Both runners on base are Norred's responsibility. But if Morales can get out of this inning, that would then officially close the book on Norred. The 2-1 pitch. High fly ball, right field, not deep. K. Dito measuring it, makes the catch, and that retires the side. So Morales did his job, and the Tigers are retired in the second. After 2 here in Hattiesburg, it's Sumrall 4. Check that, Sumrall 7, Hattiesburg 4. You're watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. So we go to the top of the third inning. Cade Dito, Hayes Rayner, and Ryan Little are the scheduled hitters. Sumrall leading Hattiesburg 7-4. Sun now out in our neck of the woods here, but you can see on the horizon a lot of clouds and overcast conditions. So here's Dito. Dito walked and scored in his only other at bat today. And they are facing Jalen Backman, the second Hattiesburg pitcher of the day. Swung on, shot foul wide of third. Raymond and Truvy McRaney are watching today from the Berg. Go Bobcats, go. The McRaneys and Christy Martin and a lot of you join us regularly on the YouTube channel, and we're glad that you're with us. And again, we take our responsibility of being your eyes and ears very, what's the word I'm looking for? Germ? We respect the fact that it's our job to call it for you. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball in there. 1-2 now to Dito. Take it seriously, I think was the word I was looking for. Dito leading off for Sumrall here in the top of the third. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on a little golf shot right to the shortstop. Didn't have a whole lot of mustard on it. So the soft liner goes as an out. And here comes Hayes Rayner. Rayner, the center fielder. He struck out his first time up. Put really good wood on the bat last night, and that pitch is inside. The outfield for Sumrall in good stead as far as talent goes. Same thing with the catching position. Boy, Altman and Little both have terrific throwing arms. That's outside 2-0. Ryan Little has already thrown out a runner today. The 2-0 pitch, outside 3-0. And I'm not sure, it doesn't matter with the guy at the plate, but I'm not sure that Backman is really holding that set position long enough. If there's a runner on base, now there he held it, but lots of times he's delivering pretty quickly. And with a runner on base, if he does that, that would be considered a walk. I mean, a balk, rather. A balk with a B. And here's Ryan Little. Little singled with a couple of RBIs his first time up. So getting the start behind the dish today, he's making the most of it so far with a couple of RBIs and a throw out at second. Jalen Backman. This is a bunt. The catcher will play it, throwing to first for the out. And the sacrifice is complete with Rayner going over to second base. So 2 away. And it'll be up to Hayden Barrett to try to plate a run here with 2 outs in the third. Darren and Angie White are watching. I miss the Whites. I've not seen Darren and Angie for a long time. And quite frankly, I miss Angie a little bit more than I miss Darren. And Darren won't even mind that I said that. There's a breaking ball outside. 1-0. Hayden Barrett has walked and scored, and he struck out looking, so he's officially 0 for 1. Well, he is a strong kid, Hayden Barrett. The 1-0 pitch. Off the plate, gets underneath. And streaking down to third base is Hayes Rayner. The fact that Rayner's a center fielder tells you a little bit about his speed. But that ball skidded underneath the glove of Crowell and all the way to the backstop. So Sumrall would take a run any way that they could get it. Here's the 1-0. Swung on. There's a shot right to third base. He hit it hard, but the Tigers had him played perfectly. And standing right there on the third base bag was Landon Scott to snag it and end the inning. So for Sumrall, no runs on no hits. There were no errors and one man left on base. We go to the bottom of the third inning. It's Sumrall 7, Hattiesburg 4. You're watching Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. So the book is closed on Hayden Norrid, and everything from here on out to this point now belongs to Jose Morales. And he's got his work cut out for him as Matthew Adams comes to the plate. Matthew Adams coming up as an underclassman. They just said all the talent in the world, but he was just thin. And they said when the quarantine hit with COVID that he put on 30 pounds of nothing but muscle. So here's Adams now. And he singled with a couple of RBIs his last at bat. So this will be a good challenge for Morales here in the bottom of the third. Morales going from the stretch. First pitch is low, ball one. Adams' older brother, Jay, who is in the crowd today. Jay Adams is quite a story. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on. This is lifted foul down the right field line. Will there be a play? Dito in foul territory makes the catch. Great play by Dito. But we were talking about Jay Adams, Matt's brother. Jay was on the SEC. Jay Adams a couple years ago was at the SEC championship football game, and you know the Dr. Pepper things where you throw the footballs in for a scholarship or whatever? Jay Adams was one of those contestants and won a mega scholarship from Dr. Pepper. So good for him. Attempted bunt is popped out of play. Jay Adams was like a academic whiz anyway. But every little scholarship dollar counts, as Fred Evans, the right fielder, is up there against Morales, and Morales has him in an 0-1 hole and now takes time at the plate. The Tigers in their home white uniform, those old English numbers on the back. The 0-1. Beautiful pitch there by Morales. We told you the Sumrall pitching staff was deep. I've told everybody around town, in my opinion, the Sumrall pitching staff goes about 7 or 8 deep, and I'm not talking throwers. I'm talking pitchers. Here's the 0-2. Tried to drop that 12-6 spinner in there, but it was inside, 1-2. Bases empty, 1 out for the Tigers here in the bottom of the third. They trail the Sumrall Bobcats 7-4. Just missed off the plate. 2-2. Morales is not a guy that's going to blow it past you, but he's going to nibble the edges. He's going to change speeds, and he's going to change locations. He's crafty like more left-handers are. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. There again, changing the speeds and locations. And here's Kylan McGee. He walked and was stranded at first base, his first and only at bat. And Morales, quite honestly, looks very comfortable out there. That's outside. And again, his delivery and the way that he approaches pitching is more like left-handers. He knows he's not going to be a flamethrower and just blow it past you as he comes straight over the top with a fastball strike. So he has to kind of keep you guessing with different speeds, different locations. He'll come at different angles at times, and that time it was straight over the top. The 1-1 pitch from Morales. There's that 12-6 bender. Phillips gobbles it up, throws to first, and that retires the side. The Tigers go in order in the third. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We've completed 3 at Smoky Harrington Park. It's the Bobcats 7, the Tigers 4. You're watching Sumrall Baseball on our YouTube channel, powered by Dandy Dan's. Kelly Sander with Jeremy Thompson back at rustic Smoky Harrington Park as the Wildcats come to bat in the top of the 4th inning. Ty Little, Marshall Phillips, and Hayden Norred will come to bat here, trying to extend a 7-4 lead. Jalen Backman still on the hill for the Tigers, on in relief of Jackson. Jackson never got out of the first inning. Didn't even record an out before Backman was brought on. So here we go. And now we're ready for play to resume here in the top of the 4th. The first inning went on forever. It was an epic saga that lasted about, 40 minutes, the first inning. But the game's pace has picked up since then. Swing and a miss by Little. Tigers wearing their camouflage hats today here. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball inside. 1-1 now. Sumrall back home this weekend, hosting the Rex Adidas tournament. It is the Adidas tournament that I think begins on Thursday. 2-1 the count now to Little. They'll open against West Marion, the Trojans, and then on Friday, that ball is hit down the left field line, playable. Adams looking at it on the line and puts it away for out number 1. Then they'll play the East Central Hornets on Friday, and then you don't know what the schedule is going to be Saturday because you have to earn your way to Saturday. But you'd have to think the way that the Bobcats have played so far that they would be somewhere in that equation. Phillips has walked and scored, and he has flown to left field. First pitch is high and tight, ball one. Backman has kept the Tigers in the game. He's another one like Morales that is not necessarily going to blow it past you. He's just going to nibble the corners and work in and out, up and down. Started the game at shortstop. But there have been some great ones to come here through Hattiesburg. A lot of them were coached by former Sumrall coach Larry Knight. Craig Tatum, former catcher for the Baltimore Orioles, came through here. That's outside. 3-0. Nate Rollison played in the bigs. Of course, he played his high school ball at Petal, but started in the Hattiesburg area. The 3-0 pitch is outside, ball four. Phillips, a 4-pitch walk. A lot of pitchers from Hattiesburg. And here's Norred now. He doubled with a couple of RBIs and popped to first base in foul territory. So he's 1 for 2. The Cats have a runner on first with 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Oh, and that hit him right in the middle of the back. Norred kind of peered out to the mound. Runners at first and second now with 1 out. And Levi Odom, and if you had to pick a Bobcat right now that's swinging the bat the best, you'd have to really, I would think, look at Levi Odom. He's hitting it hard. He's seeing it well. There's a strike. Now today he has flown to left and struck out. Pickoff play at second base. Look out here. They got him. And Marshall knew it. He was just leaning a little bit toward third, and when he spun to try to get back to the bag at second, he just couldn't get traction. And he is rung up at second, so 2 away. Good play by Backman to notice it and pick him off. The 0-1 pitch to Odom. Tried to get the bender in there, but it was a little bit high. 1-1. I don't think 7 runs is going to be enough. Bobcats have to put some more across here. There's that same pitch, but more ideal location, and that one's there. 1-2 now to Levi Odom. Should he reach, then Cross Sibley would bat. 1-2 pitch, high and inside. And again, watch Backman. Backman. He is nearly balking. He's just holding that long enough, and the base umpire is looking right at him. When you come set as a relief pitcher, you have to hold that position for a full second right here. And see how he barely. And I'm just not sure that he held it a full second. I mean, the umpire hasn't called it, but a hit by pitch there. And here is Sibley. So runners will be going on contact now. There's a shot into left field, a base hit, it drops. Davis waving the runner around, and now he almost ran into Coach, so Norwood has to go back to third. So the bases are loaded, and it'll be up to Dito. Dito has walked and lined to short. But a base hit here would be big as Sumrall bats in the top of the fourth inning, leading 7-4. Here's a little blooper out towards short. This should be routine, and it is. So the Bobcats strand 3 and don't put anything across. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. It's the Bobcats 7, the Tigers 4. You're watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. Jose Morales back on the hill for the Cats here in the bottom of the fourth inning, on in relief of Norwood, and he's been quite effective. Checking the Java Mo's scoreboard in the top of the eighth inning, Southern Miss leading UConn 7-3. Southern Miss trailed at one time 3-0 in that game, so they've scored 7 unanswered. Stone defeated East Central in high school baseball 4-3. All of our scores brought to you by our friends at Java Mo's. For that cup of coffee, you don't even need to get out of your car. Just drive by your favorite Java Mo's with their new location in Poplarville. First pitch from Morales to Landon McGee is ball 1. Tigers batting in the bottom of the fourth, scheduled for 7 here. There's a strike. Jose Morales. Norwood did not go the required amount that you would have to be guaranteed a win, as that one's fouled into the screen. So if Sumrall were to hang on here, Morales would get the win, at least if he stays the rest of the way. 1-2 the count to Landon Scott, the number 8 man in the order, but the leadoff man in this inning. There's that bender again that he watched all the way in, but just a little bit low. Two balls, 2 strikes. Leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Here's the 2-2. And that's outside, 3-2 now. So the count goes full. The number 9 hitter, Jalen Backman, is on deck. Backman started at shortstop and was moved to the pitcher position. Payoff pitch coming from Morales. And that hit him. So Landon Scott is on. And here comes Jalen Backman now. Backman, the number 9 man in the order. This could be a potential bunt situation. Levi Odom, knowing it, kind of creeping in at third. But Morales will do what he can to keep that runner close at first base. Shortens up his delivery, and the first pitch is high, ball one. Morales working quickly, gets the sign. And there's the bunt attempt. And it's fouled off the facade of the Tiger dugout. I can't remember the year of the tornado that came through here and really tore up this field, but it seemingly took forever for the field to get rebuilt. And if memory serves, the Tigers played one high school baseball season where they didn't have any home games here. They played a lot of games at William Carey University and even played some games at Oak Grove, I believe. 1-1 the count to Jalen Backman here. Runner on first, nobody out. See if he attempts the bunt again. Tried to get it down, but fouled it away. So now the count is 1-2. If he attempts it again and puts it foul, he'll be out. Which would lead you to believe that Brent Barham will let him swing away. The wind now has shifted. It's blowing out toward left. The pitch from Morales. Breaking ball. This one is lifted down the right field line. Nobody will get there. Sibley now in at first. This is the first game today that he has started at first base. Normally, Norrid and Knight handle those responsibilities, but it is Sibley over there today. Time called at the plate. We've got a nice cross breeze. The press box here high atop Smoky Harrington. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. What a bender by Morales. One away, and they go back to the top of the order in Jermel Ford. Ford, obviously a left-handed swinger. Against the righty Morales. Pickoff throw to first base, and they ring him up. Morales with a pickoff move. Norrid picked off a man. That's two pickoffs today by Sumrall pitchers. So base is empty now, 2 outs. Morales helps himself. Tries to push bunt down third, and alertly, Levi Odom touches it foul. As a third baseman, the first thing you look at on a play like that is the spin on the baseball. If the spin of the baseball is carrying an outward spin, then you want to see where that, you're not going to get Ford out. You're not going to throw him out. So the only hope you have is that spin carries the ball foul, and that's exactly what it did. And as soon as it got across the line, Odom immediately touched it, killing the play. Breaking ball low, 1-1. Because again, as a left-handed hitter, you're already 2 or 3 steps closer to first. And then when you move as well as Ford does, it's a near impossibility to throw him out. That's fouled into the screen, 1-2. Base is empty, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Rawcats of Sumrall, the Sumrall Bobcats, 7. Hattiesburg Tigers, 4. The Hub City Kitties. The 1-2 pitch. Too low. You know, Sumrall for years has cranked out great pitchers, but I think they're beginning to be a catcher factory too, with Graham Crawford down at Pearl River. Altman and Little have done really well defensively behind the plate. Both of them have throwouts this year. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Chopper to second. Little gobbles it up. Quick throw to first, and they got him. Or is that Little at second? It is indeed. So that'll do it for the Tigers in the fourth. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We go to the top of the fifth inning. It's Sumrall 7, Hattiesburg 4. You're watching Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. So Backman is done on the mound for the Tigers, and Jermel Ford, who started out in left field, now takes the bump for the Tigers. The left-hander on in relief, the third now pitcher that the Tigers have used. So he is taking his warm-up tosses. We want to thank Real South Hunting for their support of our Sumrall Bobcat webcasts, along with Rec Amended Collision Repair. Hopefully, and Recommended will even say, hopefully you won't need their services, but if you do, you know, other than your house, your car is about the biggest investment you're going to make, so make sure that you take it to people who know what they're doing, and the folks at Recommended certainly do. Casey Long's Alpha Insurance Agency, the Rainforest Car Wash, just in time for pollen season, and ComSouth Business Communications. Hayes Rayner, a left-handed hitter, will face the left-handed pitcher here in the top of the fifth.
Pitching for Hattiesburg, number 8, Jamel Ford. And now batting for Sumrall, number 1, Hayes Rayner.
Rayner has struck out and walked, so he's officially 1 for, or check that, 0 for 1. First pitch is outside, ball 1. Rayner, one of 2 guys that hit left-handed, but remember Little, Ty Little, as that pitch is outside 2-0. Ty Little, the second baseman for Sumrall, is a switch hitter, so he will go up there, the number 4 man of the inning, if they get to him, and he'll hit right-handed against the left-handed Ford. Outside 3-0. Very pleasant day here in the Berg. Too high. It's a 4-pitch walk for Rayner here to lead off the 5th. And that brings up the catcher, Ryan Little.
Now batting number 13, Ryan Little.
We'll see if Sumrall, with Little hitting in the 9 spot, if Sumrall will try to get some insurance by maybe a sacrifice bunt or something like that, or if they let him swing away. The first pitch is high and inside. And the advantage of the sacrifice bunt here is Ford being a left-handed pitcher. If he fields the ball, he has to turn all the way around to make the throw to first base, where a right-handed pitcher doesn't have to. So we'll see how Andy Davis plays it. Apparently swinging away. There's strike 1. 7 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Sumrall. 4, 4, and 2 for Hattiesburg. That pitch is high, 2-1. And it is Hattiesburg. I'm kind of nitpicking, but some people who will say Hattiesburg. And Captain Hardy's wife, her name was Hattie. Her name wasn't Hattis. Throw to first. Back in time. I know I'm splitting hairs, but three and 1 the count to Ryan Little. Ball 4, that's too high. So 2 walks. Brandon Harrison will come in and run for the Sumrall catcher. And here comes Hayden Barrett now. Saw Barrett before the ball game, and I said, "What are you doing hitting home runs? What's the matter with you?" And he just kind of did a quick bicep flex, and I went, "Okay." Whatever. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. And Barrett would be an ideal candidate with his blazing foot speed to maybe try to push a bunt down and beat it out. Again, the pitcher having to turn all the way around to make the throw. Look at that. He shows bunt, but then pulls back. I don't know a lot, but I know a little bit of baseball. Been around a long time. The 1-0. There's that attempted bunt. And it's fouled back. 1-1 the count to Hayden Barrett with Ty Little, who will hit right-handed against Jamel Ford here in the top of the 5th inning. Sumrall's got a little something cooking here in the top of the 5th, already leading 7-4. We'll see how deep Andy Davis wants to go with this bunt attempt here in the count, how deep in the count he wants to go. Barrett showing bunt again. Foul ball at the plate. So 1-2. That's something that if you can perfect that skill to be able to put the ball down like that, it is a tremendous tool. A lot of guys think you're insulting them by asking them to bunt. And I'm not at all saying that Hayden is saying that. I'm just saying if it's a skill that you can learn, and there's a called strike 3. Barrett thought it was too high, but 1 away. But if you can learn that bunt skill, there's so many times that you could implement it effectively. And here's Little now from the right side, as we mentioned. First 2 times today he batted left-handed. Pickoff play at second base. So we kind of previewed this, that Little would come up right-handed, and here he is. The pitch. Gets past the catcher, but right back to him. Boy, a very fortuitous bounce. And Crowell may have had a shot at the runners, but decided not to throw it. Runners at second and third now with one out. And another one, look out, right back to the catcher. Couldn't hang on to it. Rayner scores from third. It's an 8-4 ball game, and Harrison moves to third. Aunt D has checked in from the 228 area code. She's a fan of Hayden Barrett. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Ryan Little, or Ty Little, excuse me. And that's on the inside corner for a strike. 2-1 now to the Sumrall second baseman. Marshall Phillips on deck. Sumrall scored 6 in the first, 1 in the second, and 1 more here in the fifth. That's too high. 3-1. Ford kicks and delivers. Strike 2. That fills up the count now at 3-2. Andy Davis at third base, wearing the short sleeves today. Richard Broom down there at first. Very comfortable day. Swung on and fouled out of play, and he might have swung at ball 4, but you have to be into defensive mode there a little bit. And he fouled it off to stay alive. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Harrison doesn't have to go anywhere at third. Here's the payoff pitch. And another foul ball that almost got us here just above our press box location. I remember calling some games at Smoky Harrington Park back in the day where the press box was, your old traditional metal, press box that maybe had 2 plug-ins, but nowadays every press box has got to have about 12 plug-ins. That ball is inside the line, fair. Harrison scores, rounding first, but holding there is Little, so it's an RBI single. And Sumrall has extended the lead to 9-4. Credit Little with an RBI. I mean, no kidding. You go into press boxes now, and let's say you've got 2 or 3 groups of people that need to have access to the press box. You better have about 10 plug-ins or one of those power cords that have about 10 plug-ins, because everything runs on electricity now. 3-2 pitch. Used to be all you needed was a phone line. That pitch is outside to Marshall Phillips. Quick throw to first. Runner back. One out here in the inning. That pitch is outside to Marshall Phillips, 2-0 now. And the Hattiesburg field house was over here to the right above the concession stand, but we would do games on a deck that overlooked right field. The coach's office was up there with a sliding glass window door. And it was a great view on a comfortable weather night. Here's the 2-0. That's high and inside. I mean, make no mistake, there's no better view than what me and Jeremy Thompson have right at this moment. As Brent Barham calls timeout now. And of course, adhering to COVID-19 regulations and social distancing, he put the mask up before he goes out there to talk to his pitcher. Marshall Phillips has a 3-0 count, and Hayden Norrid is on deck. Bobcats batting in the top of the 5th inning, leading Hattiesburg 9-4. Sumrall looking to go 6-0 on the year. Of course, Larry Knight stood to be the man coming back for this year, but left Sumrall to go to Jones College in October to serve as the pitching coach there. And we've talked about it's not unusual for coaches to be quote unquote called to another school when there's no talent at their existing school, but that certainly was not the case here. Bobcats are loaded for bear in Class 4A. The 3-0 right down the tube for strike number 1. I mean, they've beaten 6A Pedal twice already. Here's a throw over to first base. Jackson Academy is normally a private school powerhouse. They handled them 12-1. Cross Sibley threw a no-hitter last night against Seminary. The 3-1 way outside, ball 4. So Ty Little is at second. Marshall Phillips at first. Still just 1 out. Norrid has doubled with a couple of RBIs. He has popped out to the first baseman, and he's been hit by a pitch. Officially 1 for 2. So 12 coming up to bat here in the top of the 5th with a chance to do some more damage. Wind blowing out toward left. That pitch is up just a hair. Ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. Up high. Gets away from Crowell, and the runners move up to second and third. And 2-0 to Norrid, so he will probably be on the take. Andrew Knight beginning to loosen up, not his arm, but his lower half over here to our left. So you think he may come in to play some first base, would be the guess. 2-0 pitch is high and tight, 3-0 now to Norrid. But the man of the hour today, Jose Morales. The 3-0. Position A for strike 1. So if Norrid sees that one again, he has permission to put it on 4th Street. The 3-1. High and away, ball 4. So Norrid is on. Bases are juiced for Levi Odom. And Brent Barham calls timeout again. And that might be it for his left-hander. He takes the ball, and we take a break. Pitching change for the Tigers. Back in a moment. You're watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. Matthew Adams, who started in center field, was moved to left, now has come in to pitch. He is a righty. He was a member of that Oak Grove Mojo bunch, and he's going up against one of his old teammates, Levi Odom. But the bases are full of Bobcats. Here in the top of the fifth inning, Sumrall leading 9-4 and looking for more with just one out. First pitch is up high, ball one. Odom making a sign of the cross with the bat there before he steps into that batter's box. The 1-0 pitch, too high. Same location. So you have to wonder here if Davis has the red light on him until he gets a strike. That's low, 3-0. With a 9-4 lead. He'll be on the take here, and that's inside, ball four. So an RBI on the walk.
Now batting, number 25. Ross Finley.
It's kind of a cheap one, but it counts. That's his second RBI of the day. And here's Sibley, who has flown to left, struck out, and singled. So he's 1 for 3. Sibley, another one of Adams' former teammates. That pitch is high and inside. Low and outside, 2-0. Lots of times, Sibley would be pitching and Adams would be his center fielder. There's a strike. Sumrall got 6 in the first, 1 in the second, now 3 more here in the fifth, and they may not be done. That gets away. Breaking for the plate is Phillips. He scores easily, and the other runners advance. It's 11-4. And a 3-1 count to cross Sibley. One out in the inning. The only force out is where there's always a force out at first base. Sibley fans on that one, and the count fills now at 3-2. Dito on deck. Sibley drives it to center field. Catch made. Here comes the tag from third base. Safe at the plate. So that'll go as a sac fly. And an RBI for Sibley. So Dito comes to the plate. He's the 9th man in the order. Sumrall has put across 5 now in the inning. Swung on. Here's a drive. That ball will hit, but again, such a vast center field. That one is pulled away by Ford, and that retires the side. But Dito hit up that ball very well. But the Bobcats come up with 5 runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. So 5 on 1.
5 runs, 1 hit, and no errors as we head to the bottom.
So we go to the bottom of the 5th inning here in Hattiesburg. It's Sumrall 12, Hattiesburg 4. You're watching Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Hattiesburg will send hitters 2, 3, and 4 to the plate. Jackson, Jones, and Crowell, the catcher. Jackson has walked twice, but he has not faced Morales. Morales going from the stretch. The first pitch is high, ball 1. Well, you talk about being efficient with run scoring this year. I think the Bobcats probably have, and I'm not kidding when I say this, they probably have more runs scored this year than they do hits. They have been walked a lot. They have been beaned a lot. That's inside 2-0. And then they've stolen bases and run on pass balls, things of that nature. 3-0 now. Jackson on the verge of being on for the 3rd straight time. Inside, ball 4. So he is. So here's Josh Jones. There's a strike. Morales fell a little bit off balance there coming off of the pitching rubber that time as the lights come on here at Smoky Harrington. Throw over to first. Another close play. Still civilly over at first base. We did see Andrew Knight stretching a little bit earlier, but he might be loosening in the bullpen. And it is Knight beginning to warm in the pen. Another throw to first. Andrew took one on the hip last night. Wasn't sure how badly he was hurt. Pitch there from Morales is high, 1-1. Jose Morales in relief of Hayden Norred. Throw again to first. The pitcher's job on a throw over to first base is not necessarily to pick the guy off. It's just to keep him close enough to where if he does go, his catcher teammate has a chance to get him. And Little already has one put out today. 2-1 the count to Josh Jones with Dylan Crowell, the catcher, on deck. Again, a throw to first. The 2-1 pitch. Boy, that missed inside. 3-1. This is the first small sign that Morales has labored at all. Swung on, a little slow roller to second. They'll go to second for the force. Will not get the follow through at first. And good backup there by Little. So out at second for the 1 out. So here's Crowell, the catcher. That weak contact may have cost Sumrall a shot at a double play there. And Phillips had a little difficulty digging it out of the web. Morales gets the sign from Little, throw over to first. And that can be so aggravating if you're on the other team when you want to play ball, and the Sumrall pitchers just keep going over to first base. The 1-0 pitch. That drops in there beautifully for strike one. Ace is wild, a ball, a strike, and an out. Here in the bottom of the fifth, Sumrall leading Hattiesburg 12-4. Runner going too high, and we've talked about stealing it off the pitcher or stealing it off the catcher. That one was stolen off the pitcher. Runners will try to find a pattern that a pitcher has. And then once they find that pattern and realize the pitcher's not coming back to first base, they take off. 3-1 to the hitter, Crowell. That's too low. Ball 4. So the second walk of the inning given up by Morales. And Andy Davis will take a slow walk out to the mound, and he may call for Andrew Knight. And he has. The call has been made. Andrew Knight coming in for the Sumrall Bobcats in relief of Jose Morales. He'll take his warm-up tosses, and we'll report back to you in a moment. You're watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. Checking the Java Mo scoreboard, Southern Miss has defeated UConn today 7-6. Another one-run win for the Eagles, and former Sumrall Bobcat Billy Garrity got to play in the game today in center field for the Eagles. Good win for Southern Miss. They'll finish up that series tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. First pitch tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. All of our scores brought to you by our friends at Java Mo's. You don't even have to get out of your car for that favorite cup of joe. Just drive to your favorite location of Java Mo's. So here's Andrew Knight on the mound at Smoky Harrington Park, a park where his father won 150,000 games as a coach. And Andrew was, for the most part, too young to probably remember a lot of them. But nonetheless, here he is for Sumrall, trying to keep the Tigers at bay. First pitch is a strike fastball to Matthew Adams with runners on first and second and one out. Knight comes set, checks the runners. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball and a beauty drops in there for strike two. Andy Davis was probably the point. Was saying, look, we don't want them to get back in this ball game. Knight is available. Pitchers always want to be able to stay sharp, and they can only do that by getting work. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Adams down on strikes for out number 2. Adams chased that one up the ladder. And here's Fred Evans. So runners will be going on contact here. First pitch here is a breaking ball, and that's in there for a strike. That's what's going to make Andrew Knight one of the best ever once he's finished, is his ability to drop the bender in there for a strike. Because no pitcher can live on one pitch alone. There's a fastball, swing and a miss. And he is developing and continuing to develop a really bulldog, blood in the water type of attitude. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, just got a piece of it to stay alive. So I think Andrew Knight is going to develop his overall game to be that classic closer. A guy whose job is to absolutely slam the door on opposing teams. I can already see it. Here's the 0-2. Too low. Bobcats again kind of started a slight jaunter off the field. One and two the count to Evans. Runners on first and second for the Tigers. 2 outs here in the 5th. Foul ball. Runners will have to go back. 12-4 Bobcats. They're scheduled next to be in action Thursday against the West Marion Trojans as part of the Adidas tournament at Sumrall. The 1-2 pitch. There's that bender that hit him this time. So the bases are loaded. Kylan McGee, the first baseman, he has walked and grounded to short. First pitch is low, ball 1. And the other thing that you see about Andrew Knight, and which leads you to believe that he's this kind of guy, he is just getting the signal from the catcher, kicks, and boom, he's there. Swung on, there's a tap foul of third. He's not wasting any time. Not shaking anything off, just gets the signal, let's go, boom, to the plate. McGee gets in the box, all right, ready to go. Knight already has the sign, gives the nod, and here he goes. Strike on the corner. And that's a sign of a guy, too, that means business. He's not playing around. Sign. Nod. Here he goes. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. And that's that. And you see that clap of the glove that he got accomplished what he wanted to get accomplished. So they hold the Tigers at bay in the 5th. We've completed 5 here at Smoky Harrington. It's the Bobcats 12, the Tigers 4. Back for the 6th in a moment. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. So we go to the top of the 6th inning. Sumrall leading 12-4. And Liam Munn Liam Munn will lead it off here for Sumrall. He's getting into the ball game here in the top of the 6th inning.
Now batting, number 6, Liam Munn.
Munn's been doing a lot of courtesy running, but defensively plays a good outfield. He's also very valuable on that football team, can play a wide variety of different positions. Again, kind of fits that Sumrall mold, and he's not a big guy, but very athletic, quick, strong, and fast. Adams nibbles the inside corner for a ball and a strike count. That's too high. 2-1. With Ryan Little on deck. Inside, 3-1. Three and 1, the count to Liam Munn. He's batting for Hayes Rayner. Swing and a miss. Matthew Adams, the 4th pitcher used by the Burgers today. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Adams strikes out Munn. 1 away, and here comes Ryan Little, the Sumrall catcher. Strike on the corner. Adams seems now to have found a groove. Adams, coming up through the youth leagues because of his speed, was primarily an outfielder, but did throw some innings, and there's 4 consecutive strikes. Also played some third base. Just missed on the off-speed pitch there. 1-2 now the count to Ryan Little. Sumrall has the game in hand here. 12-4, batting in the top of the 6th inning. Kelly Sander along with Jeremy Williamson with you here from historic Smoky Harrington Park. They've still got the old grandstand lights on above us here, that you just don't see those old grandstand lights anymore. Too high. 3-2 now. Little, the Sumrall catcher, batting 9th in the order. And he draws a 1-out walk. Boy, if you're a coach, that's got to make your hair gray, doesn't it? That the number 9 guy in the order gets a walk. Harrison will come on to run for him, Brandon Harrison. And back to the top of the order, and Hayden Barrett. Adams, that pitch was way inside, nearly hit Barrett. And Barrett had the presence of mind to pull the bat down, too, because had that accidentally hit the bat and fouled off, it would have been a foul ball. But ball 1. Outside, 2-0 now to Barrett. Sumrall batting in the top of the 6th. Norred started on the mound. Morales came in and did a great job, and now Andrew Knight fouled into the screen. He got the green light on 2-0 and fouled it away. And you would think it would be Andrew Knight's to finish up. And then the entire pitching staff, after 3 straight days, will get some time to rest for the tournament next weekend. 3-1 out as that's low and away. Adams comes set. Swung on. There's a shot toward third. Bobbled once, throws to first. Off the mark. That'll be an E5. So Barrett will not be credited with a hit. Runners on first and second with 1 away. And now you see Ty Little switch around and go bat left-handed against the righty. It's such a useful tool. Outside, ball 1. 1-0 pitch. There's a strike on the corner. They might have been on the take until they got one. That's low. 2-1. Matthew Adams on the hill for Hattiesburg. His sister Chloe, quite a volleyball and basketball player for Hattiesburg. 2-1 the count to Ty Little. Upstairs, 3-1. The lights have been on for about an inning or so. As the clouds beginning to darken a little bit, we're overcast. I don't think rain is in the offing at all, but 3-1 pitch swung on. There's a shot to second base. To second for one. No. Did not have control of the ball. I think they got just ahead of themselves a little bit, wanting to turn that double play and never corralled the ball at short. So the bases are loaded. That'll go as a fielder's choice. And here's Marshall Phillips now with the bases loaded. First pitch swinging, and that'll get across the street into the parking lot. No place to put Marshall Phillips. There's one out here. Sumrall leading 12-4 and threatening for more here in the top of the 6th inning. One and one the count to Phillips. Norred is on deck. Here's the 1-1. Inside, nearly hit Phillips. Corners are in for Hattiesburg. They're playing regular depth in the middle of the infield, looking for the ground ball double play. Phillips runs very well, though. 2-1 pitch gets underneath the catcher, but not far enough for Harrison to advance. It's 3-1 to Phillips. 3-1 to Phillips. Glad that you've checked in. Many of you on our text line at 601-310-7077. 3-1 pitch. Swung on. Here's a drive. That ball is well hit. They're going to have to get on their horses for that one. Phillips hit that ball well. It's all the way near to the base of the fence. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. Everybody else holds up where they are. It's a double for Phillips to the gap in left center, and it's a 14-4 ball game. Marshall Phillips with a 2-run double. And we talked about how big this ballpark is. That ball would have been long gone in the raw. So runners at second and third. Marshall Phillips with his first 2 RBIs of the day, and that swung on and into the screen. Still just 1 out here. 14 runs, 7 hits for Sumrall. 4, 4, and 3 for Hattiesburg. That's a strike. 0-2 now to Norred, with Levi Odom up next. Runners are not in a force situation, so they'll hold unless they have to. Popped up to the infield. Fighting for it, the first baseman calls for it and makes the catch. 2 outs. And here comes Levi Odom. Now the runners will go on anything hit with 2 outs, because they don't have to worry about lining into that double play. First pitch from Adams is high and tight. Levi Odom has really thickened up the last couple of years. He's coming up through the ranks, an average sized kid, but he's a big kid now. 1-0 pitch in the dirt. 2-0 breaking for the plate is Little. He scores. And taking his cue from Little is Phillips. He advances to third. Tessa Morales checking in and listening on her way home from Ridgeland. Well, Tessa, I assume that you're kin to Jose, and if you are, you ought to be proud. He had a great outing today. That pitch is inside, 3-0 to Levi Odom. Andrew, is that Andrew Knight on deck, or is that Jaron Gore? It is Gore that will come to bat after Levi Odom gets the 4-pitch walk. So Jaron Gore comes to bat.
Now batting, number 38, Jaron Gore.
With runners on first and third and 2 outs, Gore hitting in a spot that Sibley would normally hit in. So Tessa Morales just texted, said, "Yes, sir, that's my boy." Well, he had a great performance today. I'm proud for him. The 1-0 pitch. High and inside, 2-0 with Cade Dito on deck. Sumrall with 3 more here in the 6th to extend the lead 15-4. 2-0 pitch. Swung on, fouled into the Sumrall dugout. And it's gonna be, guys like that everybody contributes in some, way, shape, or form. I like the way that Morales, again, he's not going to overpower you, but he's just going to nibble the corners. He's going to work up and down in the strike zone. He's going to work in and out over the plate. That's called pitching. That's not called throwing. That's called pitching. And Gore takes one right in the back of the helmet. And down he goes. And when Gore goes down, it's like timber. He's a big old youngin'. They're checking that ear hole. And he will get the all clear from Andy Davis and the training staff here at Hattiesburg. Andy Davis talking to the home plate umpire now, and I think he's going to, considering Gore's situation, he will be lifted. Sibley's going to come in and run for Gore, which was that spot in the order. And Gore will just go back to the dugout and shake out those cobwebs. He got clobbered on that pitch. And the Tigers will make a pitching change. Adams off the hill. Hattiesburg goes to the mound one more time, and we'll take a break and report back to you in just a moment. You're watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. Isaiah Spites comes on to pitch for the Tigers. So Adams is done. Spites on to pitch. John Sawyer Williamson has picked up a stick for Sumrall. Andy Davis going with a left-handed stick against a right-handed pitcher here, and it'll allow young Williamson some cuts. So here's John Sawyer.
Now pitching for Hattiesburg, Isaiah Spites. And now batting for Sumrall, number 36, John Sawyer Williamson.
Bases are loaded for the Bobcats here with 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning. So let's see what young John Sawyer Williamson can do. Swung on, fouled right in front of us here. Just missed it, just ahead of it. But again, Andy Davis playing percentages and going with the left-handed stick against the right-handed throwing Spites. Isaiah Spites against John Sawyer Williamson. That pitch is low, 1-1. Liam Munn in the on-deck circle. That's where the whole inning started, was with Munn. He's on deck. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Williamson behind in the count now. 1-2. Here comes the 1-2 pitch from Spites. Outside, ball gets away. Here comes Marshall Phillips to the plate. There will be no play. He's in. It's a 2-2 count to the hitter as Phillips comes in. John Sawyer Williamson now with first base open. Pitch from Spites, too high. 3-2 now. Here's the payoff pitch. Too high, ball 4. Williamson draws a walk. So bases loaded again. And here's Liam Munn, who started off the inning. Swing and a miss. Should Munn reach, then Briggs McDonald would get to come up to bat. Too high, 1-1. 16-4 Sumrall. The game not in jeopardy. A 1-1 count to the hitter. Swung on. Here's a lazy little fly ball to center field, being measured and caught, and that does it for Sumrall in the top of the 6th. But they get 4 more. We go to the, as it turns out, the last chance 6th. The Tigers have got to come up with at least 3 runs to keep this game going. Sumrall 16, Hattiesburg 4. Back for the bottom of the 6th in a moment. You're watching Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. Landon Scott, Jalen Backman, and Jamel Ford to face Andrew Knight in what could be the last at bat for the Tigers if they don't come up with 3 runs. 10-run rule in effect here in the 6th. And if Sumrall wins it, it's 3 in a row for the weekend and 6 in a row to start the season. And the Tigers making a substitution here, letting some other guys get into the game. So Dylan Brown will face Knight here. First pitch is high and tight, ball 1. Brent Barham coaching Hattiesburg this year. This is just their 3rd game. First pitch swung on and a foul ball off to the right side. So 1-1 to Dylan Brown. Again, Knight working very quickly. Strike on the corner. Strike 2. Nice fastball. Knight keeps him guessing as to whether he's going to come with the heat or just throw the little wrinkle. The 1-2 pitch to Brown. There's the wrinkle that missed that time. 2-2 to the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's high and tight. 3-2 now. To the leadoff man in the bottom of the 6th. The payoff pitch. Too high. Ball 4, so Brown is on. So Russell Shelton's got a stick now, and he digs in there against Knight. Too low, ball 1. Andrew Knight, the 3rd pitcher used today. Norrid started. It was not a great outing for Norrid, but then Morales came in and really kept the Tigers at bay, and now Knight to try to close things up. Ground ball to short, and safe. The runner at first base beat the throw. A bobble on the throw. That's an E. E5. And now Jamel Ford up to bat. Force anywhere except home. Ford has singled and grounded to second twice. So he's put the bat in play all 3 times. And that's what the higher-ups really like about this guy. He makes contact. And obviously very fast from the left side. Wind blowing out toward left field. Tries to put the bunt down and fouls it away. 1-1 the count. Not a save situation for Knight with this big lead. But right now, Bobcats are just looking for outs because, like I said, the Tigers have got to get 3 runs to keep it going. The 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball and a beauty just drops right in there. Well, that's a tough pitch to hit when it's thrown well. Andrew Knight comes set and delivers. Foul ball. This one will get over on Hutchinson. The longtime home of the Hattiesburg Dixie Youth Program is over here right behind us, what was called J.C. Park. It's now out at Tatum Park. But for years, J.C. Park was the place to be on weeknights during Dixie Youth Baseball season. It was quite an event every night. 1-2 pitch, low, 2-2. Now those fields are used sparsely, and I think the Lady Tiger softball team of Hattiesburg uses one of the fields as their home ballpark. Tigers batting here in the bottom of the 6th. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Another foul ball. "16 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for Sumrall, 4, 5, and 3 for the Tigers. Knight gets the sign from Little. Pickoff play to second and runner back. Now you got Holloman at shortstop for Sumrall. Here's the 2-2. Just got a piece of it to stay alive again. And we've talked about that good at bat. Lots of times kids, if they were out, they'll come back to the dugout all frustrated that they got out. But what they discount lots of times, the kids do, and they shouldn't, was the fact that it took 11 pitches for the pitcher to get you out. That's a good at bat. But lots of times they get too caught up in the line score and whether it was a hit or whether it was an out. If they hit the ball hard somewhere, but somebody happens to catch it, that's a good at bat. You want to encourage the kids to hit it hard. Two and two count from Knight. Outside, 3-2. Jamel Ford, the leadoff hitter for Brent Barham, looking at a 3-2 pitch here in the bottom of the 6th. Swing and a miss. Knight wins that battle. And that one might have been up just a hair, but that's when you have a guy that wants to hit like that, he'll go up that ladder and try to get it. Here's Jack Jackson now, righty versus righty this matchup, and Jackson was the guy that started on the hill for Hattiesburg. But he didn't get out of the first inning, unfortunately. It's probably a start he'd like to have back. First pitch is high. Tiger runners will have to go on a ground ball. Other than that, be careful of their positions here. Knight continues to work pretty quickly. There's a strike. Josh Jones on deck. Tigers playing just their 3rd game of the year, where this is the 6th game for Sumrall. The batter asked for time, and the umpire gave it to him, but he should have thrown his arms in the air so that Andrew Knight would have known that time was called. Back to the business at hand, the 1-1 pitch. Strike on the inner part of the plate. It looked like a straight change from here. So 1-2 the count now to Jack Jackson, the number 2 man in the order. Breaking ball missed. Down low. Brent Barham is officially just an interim coach for this year. He'll have to go through the interview process next year when Hattiesburg opens it up. On the Java Mo's scoreboard, Florida Atlantic leading Southern Miss 36-26 at half in college basketball. And Miss Anita is reporting that the Lady Cats have defeated Pearl River Central and Wesson for for a 3-0 start to their season. Bobcats thought he went around. Umpire said he held up. 3-2 the count with 1 out. The payoff pitch. Here's a slow roller to short. Phillips is going to have to hurry. No play. Or check that, Holloman. It's an infield hit. Infield hit for Jackson loads the bases. So you go from Jamel Ford to Jack Jackson to Josh Jones for people into alliteration. That's a lot of J's. So anything back to Andrew Knight, they do have a force at home. At this point, if you're the Bobcats, you just want an out somewhere. But the Tigers battling here to stay alive, swinging a foul back. Jones is the number 3 man in the order. The 0-1 pitch. Breaker in there for strike 2. Golly, that's a nice pitch. But Andrew here in this inning has gotten ahead of these hitters and then hasn't been able to put them away. There's that pitch. No. And with first base occupied, doesn't have to throw it down there. So 2 away. And that brings up Dylan Crowell. The Tiger catcher. Bases loaded, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. First pitch high and inside, ball 1. Want to thank all of our sponsors today, including Java Mo's, our friends at Dandy Dan's with 2 locations to serve you in Sumrall and Bellevue, State Farm Insurance Agent Stacy Clark in Prentice, all of our other webcast sponsors, Recommended Collision Repair, 1-0 pitch is high, Rainforest Car Wash, Casey Long Alpha Insurance, Com South. Here's the 2-0 pitch. There's a strike. Just took something off of it to get himself back in the count. The Sumrall outfield has him played straight away. Should he reach, then Matthew Adams would get back up to bat. Ooh, that just missed high. 3-1. Knight's still working very quickly. Swing and a miss. He was way out ahead of that changeup, it looked like. So we'll see what Andrew Knight has up his sleeve here with a 3-2 pitch. Swung on, popped it foul. All the runners were going as the carousel started with 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. So they'll have to go back and try it again. Real South Hunting, another one of our webcast sponsors we'd like to thank. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th inning. Now time called at the plate. As soon as Knight commits to going to the plate, the runners will take off. Because obviously the runner will either walk, strike out, or get a hit. And no harm for the hitters by leaving early in that scenario. The 3-2 pitch. Andrew Knight trying to get these runners off and going a little bit quicker, but nobody holding the runners on. in case the ground ball is hit. They can defend their positions. Here's the payoff pitch. Inside, ball 4. So a run is in, and an RBI for Crowell. And here's Matt Adams. Adams has singled with an RBI. He has flown to right, and he has struck out. 16-5 game now. Swung on. There's a foul ball out into Hutchinson Avenue. Turned around on it really well. Coach Davis's parents have been watching and just now checking in on the text line. It is better late than never, but we're glad to have you along. We know that you're big fans. Breaking ball drops in there nicely. That was a 12-6 spinner. They've been watching all along. They love these results for sure. Greatly appreciate the fantastic job that you and Jeremy always do. Well, thank you very much for those kind words. And they also think that Coach Davis is pretty special. And you'd certainly be remiss if you didn't say that. Of course, breaking ball, laced foul down the right field line. That's out of play. So Adams stays alive with an 0-2 count. Andrew Knight probably getting more work than he had hoped today, but work nonetheless. And the staff will have all the way till Thursday now to rest up. Here's the 0-2. Popped it up. Shallow outfield. Who's making the play? Coming in to make the grab in center field. And that's the ball game. Who was that in center field? Was that Munn? Barrett. They moved Barrett to center field to make the catch. So that's the ball game. Sumrall wins it over Hattiesburg by a final score of 16-5. The Bobcats remain undefeated on the year. And our next webcast will come your way Thursday when the Bobcats will take on the West Marion Trojans. You can follow at Sumrall Athletics on social media for all the latest news regarding your Bobcats. And, any weather situations or things like that, they'll keep you updated as well there. Thank you for all the kind words. Thank you for joining us this afternoon from rustic Smoky Harrington Park, where the Bobcats beat the Tigers 16-5. For producer Jeremy Thompson, I'm Kelly Sander. Thanks for joining us. You've been watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball on our YouTube channel, powered by Dandy Dan's.